Hello, everybody. I'm Dee Lisa, the Dream Doula. I help you tap into intuition to manifest your best life.
Hi, I'm Margie, and I'm thrilled to be here with Lisa. And I'm a speaker. I'm a trainer, a coach. I run retreats. I run masterminds. Mastermind meaning bringing our brilliant minds together and going away for a weekend and coming away with more ideas. So I'm just about to launch something called the Inspired Idea Incubator Academy, which I'm excited to share. And it's just really about helping other people get where they want to go so that we can have a better economy running and we don't have to rely on other people and other things.
Now, Margie, before you became a life coach, you were so many other things. Why don't you share with my audience what you did in your previous life?
Yeah, in my previous life, I thought, it was college and work. That's what I was taught when I grew up. I wasn't around entrepreneurs ever. And so I did the college thing. I graduated and I went right into a job as an administrative because that was my mindset. You'll be a secretary, a good administrative person. So I never called myself a secretary, but I put myself into an administrative role and felt comfortable and stayed there for the next 40 years in companies, big companies, corporate. I then did, I worked at a hospitality as a front desk manager, and then I went back to a university and I worked as this administrative again. So that was my mindset, just little focused.
Although for you, I think you have all the skills from those 40 years of being a person um, of the helpful person that knew how to make all those Word documents work and put all the things together on the computer. A lot of coaches get to that part of their world and they're like, how how do you even do that? I
Right.
need an assistant, right? You already were all those things. So that must have been really magnificent and fun for you when you're putting together your programs.
Well, it is, I don't need to reach out for help like that. But
Yeah.
I even have offered so many people, like, here, let me help you with it. Let me show you how to do. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And so of all the things you do now, speaker, author, coach, retreat leader, what's your most favorite thing to do?
Retreats, 100% all day long.
Oh, tell me more.
People will come, shut down, feeling with a story. They carry their story in and it's very heavy. And they carry their
Mm,
story. I was in a car accident when I was 21, and that's why at 58 I'm like this. My mother never loved me when I was a child, and that's why at 62 I'm like this.
mm.
The stories. My father beat me as a child, and that's why at 63 I'm like this. And then they realize that they can release the stories, let go of them, actually disintegrate them, and reclaim their identity. So they come maybe shut down and really in a place of like, I don't want to talk about it, to leaving in a place where I talked about it. It isn't that bad. I worked through it. Now I've got this new lease on life. So.
That's beautiful. And I remember way back when I was probably mid 30s, early 40s, and I was in group therapy. And I remember thinking this one woman was so old. She's probably my age now. She's so old and she's still mad at her mother. Like, what is wrong with her? I was very judgmental in that group, even though it was group therapy and we were all helping each other get better. I just kept thinking, get over it, girl. I mean, like, your mom is old and you're old and why are you still mad at the way she treated you when you were younger or that you're still having the same argument. But I think many people do, they're stuck in this argumentative reality with a parent, a spouse that might not even still be on the planet, and they're still trying to prove it. They're still trying to get away from that or get over or get, uh, you know what I mean?
because they say, I don't want to
Mm,
about it. But a therapist will say,
yeah.
let's talk about the problem. And so, nothing against therapists, but if you focus on the problem, you focus on the problem. Like what I do as a mentor, as a coach is, okay, that's what you're holding on to. Let's focus on the solution. Let's focus on what we're going to do. And
Yeah.
so, like I'm saying, I'm not in any way disparaging a therapist, but if you're still in that seat 10 years later, 5 years later, and you're still working on the problem, that's a problem. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And so many people are so scarred from their childhood and yeah, your parents probably did the best they could at the time, even if it wasn't that skillful, as
yeah,
they say. And then now, yeah, now what are you going to do about it? You're going to complain about it, worry about it, think about it, or move on. That is what I think coaches do for people, is we show them what they would love to do, where they would love to go, who they would love to be, and we guide them to go there. And that's the most exciting thing is probably what you just said about retreats. Like they leave free and happy. And that's what we want our people to do. We want them to be free and happy to live their lives.
it's so transformative, which is why I'm excited about the academy that I'm starting because it's going to be a transformation. You take an idea where someone's always said, why would you do that? That's dumb. Or I don't know.
Mm,
Are you sure it's going to work? Instead, I'm the person that says, well, let's explore it. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what's possible. Let's work together to make it come to reality. And that's fun.
now, what do you think about people who say, what's your backup plan?
Well, I don't really judge any people. I will throw out, shout out Mel Robbins for a second with her book, Let Them, like let
Yeah.
them do them and let me be me, right? But a backup plan means you're already 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Like,
Yes.
what if I fail? So I don't go in with a backup plan. I go in with both feet in the water. And if I'm starting to drown, I got to figure it out. But I go in thinking this is going to work. I don't, you don't need a backup plan until you get to that point. So why start with that mindset of what if this doesn't work?
Yes.
You're already like, that's the first arrow and you're putting it in.
Yes, I agree. I was my sister asked me when I moved from Seattle to where I live now, and she's like, what's your backup plan?" And I said, I don't have a backup plan. I'm just going to do this thing." She goes, "Well, wait a minute, what?" And she's always got a backup plan. She's got like if this happens, then that, and if this happens, then that, and then that makes her feel really safe and secure. And I said, no, you can't move forward if you have a backup plan of what if this doesn't work. If it doesn't work, like you said, Margie, we'll deal with it then. Whatever happens, I'll deal with it then.
It's like getting married and saying, have you met my first husband?
Or like we can always, 50% of people get divorced, so like,
Yeah,
we can
yeah,
get divorced later. By the way,
right.
you've been married for a long time, I hear.
I have been married for a long time. Not easy. I mean, there was a time when we could have absolutely gone a different way, but I think we were both open to what I thought was leadership training, and it turned out to be personal development at a really high level, and it was really
Oh,
difficult. But
mm.
that's where I learned to face my problems and walk through them and get through them. And when I changed and he saw I changed, then he wanted to change. And so then instead of going this way, we just came back this way.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, I was coaching one client and she said her husband was not in the coaching. She was doing coaching. And one of the things she told me was, I might get divorced when I get retired. When I'm retired, I don't know if we can still stay together. And as the weeks went on, she said, my husband started asking me, what am I doing? And am I going to divorce him? And I said, oh, how interesting. And she's like, no, I'm not going to divorce you, but I'm doing this thing. But as she was changing and shifting who she was and who she was being, he noticed. And also, they went from she hated the way he drove, he always drove. It he was an aggressive driver. He drove real close to people. He honked and complained while he was driving. She's like, I hate it when he drives. I hate it, but I don't like to drive. I'm thinking, well, okay, one or the other, girl. You drive, let him drive. And at the end of our coaching together, she went on a road trip with him across the country and back, and they had a great time. I was like, oh, all right. So she got to that point that Mel Robbins wrote a whole book about.
Yeah.
She just let him be who he is.
Let them. It's so freeing. I
Yes.
I used to get annoyed when he would say good morning. I'd be like, oh.
So, what's good about it?
But now I'm like, I'm super grateful, like to hear him say good morning and he's here. And so I don't know. I just think you have to find what works for you. If you're not happy, then you need to figure that out so you get to be happy. And maybe that's not together. But if you can figure it out, like, honey, are we going the right direction? Because this doesn't look right to me. Instead of, what are you doing?
Right. Yes. Oh,
So,
that's so beautiful. To just let someone be who they are and to be happy to be in their company is probably somebody told me this years ago. It's like most happily married couples, um, maybe they have really great, mind-blowing sex every day. Maybe they don't, but they have companionship and they enjoy each other's company.
yeah,
And that might be the most important part of a long-term relationship is to be happy to just hang out with that other person.
it's very much communication. It's,
Yeah.
if I say, I used to say, well, why didn't you tell me? And now I say, please just tell me if, there's something that I'm going to need to know that it's going to affect me too. Please just tell me, even if it's tough news when you're doing your taxes together and stuff. Don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, communication, everything.
Yeah, please tell me. Oh, and communication. Another one of my clients figured out after 42 years. I don't know how long you've been married, but
What do you
she'd
do?
been married 42 years. And she said, I know because this is what happened in the past. If I said blah, 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 blah about his brother, blah, 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 he'll yell at me. He'll get really mad. He'll leave the house in a huff. And then while we're working together, we do 2 weeks of forgiveness work, which is always transformative. And I always tell people, now, if I would have told you when you signed up, we're going to do forgiveness work for a couple weeks, would you be real excited about that? They're like, no, I would not. But while she did that work, she realized that she could have a fight with them about this really important thing to her, or she could write him a letter.
Mm,
So she wrote him a letter and she left it in the kitchen and she left for the day. And in a sealed envelope, just in case anybody else came in, they wouldn't open the letter. And he called her on the phone. He goes, I read your letter. I had no idea you felt that way. Thank you for telling me. Then he said, I'm going to cry. Are you coming home? And she said, yeah, yeah, I'm coming home. And he said, okay, I'll be here. I'll be here when you get home.
that's sweet.
So instead of a big, giant fight where he screams and yells and curses and leaves the house, he's happily waiting for her to come home.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. It was such a beautiful shift after being stuck in this way of communicating for 40 some
Yeah.
years.
years. It becomes a habit.
Yeah. A
Um,
habit you don't even like.
yeah, and I've noticed since we both then we did some of this stuff together where we went and
Hmm.
did leadership training. Uh, and then we did it separately too, because they say when you do it separately, you're going to play more full out. Like I wouldn't
Yeah.
meet with you, Lisa, with my husband about forgiveness because I want to talk to you openly about forgiveness and I want you to coach me so that I get better. And then maybe you would have a conversation with him about it. And then maybe we would then be able to come together because we would both be coached by you.
Yeah. Oh, that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. So, who is your perfect client, Margie? Let us know. So, if somebody wants to find you and go to one of your retreats or sign up for your um, community, they'll know what they're getting.
Somebody who's really hungry to do something different in life, to not
Mm,
just settle. My first book that I wrote is called Overly Satisfied is Underachieved. Why is it called that? Because if you're satisfied, you're not going to push yourself. You're just, you're going to stay below the line of what's possible, of being bold, of taking risks, because everything's working to your satisfaction. But my question would be, is satisfaction your goal in this life, in this one life that you get? Are you just here to be satisfied? Or are you here to build a community center in Uganda for hundreds of children, which I am, that's going to cost $100,000? And could I get 1,000 people to give me $100 and build this community center for them? Or you have an idea and there's no one in your life that says, let's explore that. Let's see how we can monetize that. Let's see how we can figure that out. And people who are closest to you will maybe take you down. So I'm going to be there to advocate for you, to explore it, to bring it to a place where it's alive and monetizing. And so the perfect client for me is somebody who is open and willing. And I'm going to say the word coachable, but I'm going to say it with mentorship. Because if you're willing to be mentored and you take ideas, then it works really well.
I'm making notes. So, you said one thing in there that's such a nugget. I want to explore it a little bit more. If you tell people your dream,
Mhm.
for lack of a better word, you have a widget you want to create, you have a movie you want to make, you have a book you want to write, you want to do a TEDx talk, whatever your dream is, if you tell your family and friends, a lot of them will go, you can't, no, how are you going to do that? And it's not because they don't want you to shine. It's because they see you in a certain way, the way
Mhm.
you've been up until now. They can't really see you the way a coach can see you. They can't really believe that you can go do that thing. Some of them. Is that true for you?
100%. Like my younger brother doesn't see the evolved Margie that took all
Mm,
these classes and is different than the person he grew up with, or when I
right.
was right out of college. Like he's still, it's a lot of remember when you, and I don't live in the past. Past is past. It's done. It's done as of this moment. And we got now and we've got the future. And yes, let's pull in the nuggets and the lessons from where we have been in our life. But I do not live there. And that's where a lot of my closest friends and family
Yeah.
live there. I don't. So when you get people who are open-minded to say, I don't want to live there, I want to know what's next, or what's around the corner, what I can do with this. I tell you, I have so much fun working with people who are open-minded.
It's beautiful because all those people who are open-minded and who are doing something they haven't ever tried before are inspirational to everyone else, including their family and friends.
Exactly. They
Yeah.
definitely are.
I have people say to me, and they're like, "Oh, you're so brave." I'm like, "What?" Oh, thank you. I think that means that I'm doing something they wouldn't have done.
And when it's time to take our last breath, are we here to say, I really wish that I had started that thing that I wanted to do? That's not the time. The time is now to say, if I just had somebody that believed in me and would kind of walk this walk with me, then maybe I could do it. And you're not doing it to impress anybody or your children, or you just, if you have a heart to serve and you want to be remembered uh, for something you did, how do you want to be remembered? Do you want to be remembered for what? That's where we're at. So I'm proud of you that you have this that pours into people, that inspires people, that brings them to another level that they
Mm,
might not even ever know about. And yet they get there and they're like, this is exciting. Because now
yes,
Lisa's opened my brain.
yes. Oh, I love that so much. So one of your is this real? You're going to build a community center in Uganda?
That is very real. I've had, not that I'm promoting that to, I'm just saying that for the last 4 years, I have sent money out of my own pocket. I tried to send boxes. The first one went through. I went to the dollar store and bought all the tuna fish in little packets and all the crackers and all the things that I could get. And the package was $365 to send, and that was my money. So I realized I can't do this on my own. I started telling family and friends. The first thing that happened was, what if someone, like, what if it isn't real? And like I said, could you give money towards it? They were very wary of giving money towards
Yes,
something. So I said,
yes,
it's okay. If you wanted to buy an item, like maybe you wanted to buy 10 toothbrushes and 10 things of toothpaste, but these people are very hungry. They're starving people. And so while we sent toothbrushes and pens and we sent paper, um, glasses, one girl, I sent her $1 pair of glasses. There's no eye doctors there. And she couldn't read the book. And now she reads the book. This is 3 years, 4 years later with those dollar pair of glasses.
wow, wow.
So I couldn't do that on my own. I did start a GoFundMe and I'm calling it 1,100 because I feel like there are 1,000 people out there that if they gave $100, I'm not in this is it. Like I don't want to use a platform to do that, but if somebody wanted to reach out to me, they'd be more than welcome to.
I love it. I love it. And I truly believe that if you have a dream like this, the that the dream wants you. Like the dream, whatever that dream is for you, if it's taking care of people in Uganda, if it's making a TED Talk, whatever it is, there's that dream is pulling you toward it if you allow it to. So this sounds really fantastic. So tell us more about your new program and the gift that you have for the listeners, please.
Well, sure. So, I recently ran an event with a partner down in Florida, and we called it Breaking Through to the Best You. It was about mindset and money and how people feel about all of that and what we've been told about money and how people are resistant to make it. And if you love money, you're not a good person. No, it's if you love it and you can build your life and do things for people and have your good life and then build for other people, it's a good thing. So love that part of it and don't take in everything else. And so while I was there, I realized that people said, you know, I have an idea. I have an idea that I've wanted to explore. Can I get your time? And it happened more than once. And I thought, okay. So on my drive home, I thought, what if I came up with an incubator where for 10 weeks they could come in with their idea and we plant the seed in the beginning and then we cultivate the concept and then we build the bold, like that part of it, so that you end up with something in 10 weeks. And I decided to make it an academy so that it's evergreen. People can come in wherever they're at, whenever they want. There's no start date or end date. It's your college, it's your degree, the degree to which you're going to put the effort in. And 10-week program, you know, when I add up the experiences that I've put it all together, and what it would cost me and what it's cost me in mentors and things, it's well over $50,000. But I wanted to offer it for $997 to the public. And then I said, Margie, what if, what if I could just do something very special for people who know Lisa? Because Lisa is about love and kindness and inspiring. And so for Lisa's audience only, that's the Lisa special, Lisa West special, it would be $397 for a 10-week program where you come in with your idea. And when you get it to the point where it's monetizing, you're going to get your degree and you're going to graduate. And then if you wanted to come in, you know, and do a second semester or something like that, you'd still get the Lisa special. Nobody else would be getting that. Everybody else will be paying 997.
Oh, that's so generous of you. Thank you. I love it. I love this idea too that you're in an incubator, you have a specific product or course that you want to create, and inside of it, you walk people through how to make that work.
Yeah. Would you like me to put something in the chat? Does that help you? Or
No, I'll put it in the show notes so everybody can find it.
okay,
Thank you.
sure.
And other than that, can people hire you for one-on-one coaching, Margie?
Oh, yes, all the time.
Okay.
That's how you get in touch with me, Mentor Me MDJ. That's my actual phone number.
Okay. I'm
Um,
putting it on the interweb.
Say
Watch
hi.
out.
I want to talk to you because I will block you. Say hi. My name is, and I heard about you through Lisa, and I'd like to have a conversation with you. And I'll have a conversation with you. You can get on my calendar complimentary. I love to talk with people and love to just explore where you want to go with no obligation whatsoever.
I love it. It's been so fun to have this conversation with you, Margie, and I'm glad we met serendipitously.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, yeah, I'm glad we met, and I hope to be at one of your retreats someday. Talk
Oh,
about dreams.
I would
I
love
can,
that. I would.
yeah,
So thank you.
yeah.
Thank you for having me and thank you for doing what you do. I want to explore my dream from the other night with you.
I love it. Okay, wait, before we pop off, do you want to share it with everyone or is it private?
Oh, no, I don't want to share it with everybody.
Okay, more later, everybody. I will
Okay.
hit and stop recording.